It's your favorite YouTube dealer. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. So apparently I'm extremely late. This came out like a week ago, maybe even longer. How long ago did this come out? Someone did tell me 11 days. So it's almost 2 weeks ago. I'm so behind. So someone did tell me about this and then I forgot all about it and I never recorded it. So it's time that we dive in. You guys know we always check out Tom MacDonald drops. So the only reason you ain't seen this one yet is because I forgot. Because if I knew, we would have did it the day of. You know I love checking this shit out. You know I like the conversation that he has around his songs. You know I love this shit. I love it. So that's why my main channel I turned into commentary so I could talk about things. I like talking. Look, we're already 40 seconds in. I'm talking nonsense. Anyways, let's dive in. Twitch.tv/DuaneTV. Stop into the stream sometime. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Usually we watch music, random videos, talk about shit, police stops, whatever, but also we game. I'm going to be playing some Arc Raiders. So if you happen to be playing some Arc Raiders, stop in. Maybe you could team up with me. Maybe I'm going to fuck you up. You never know. Anyways, my bad. Wait, hold up. I messed it up. My bad. Goodness.
America's fallen, turned our men into women. Our billionaires get private islands where they're trafficking children. The flag is burning in the streets. We don't believe the politicians. We defunded the police and free speech has been restricted. And Canada has fallen. Their dollar ain't worth a buck. If you misgender someone there, you're getting fined or locked up. Trudeau censored the internet, then they banned half the guns. The trucker convoy was the last breath of freedom in their lungs. And the UK has...
Yo, I don't know if my man LeBron's is going to watch this reaction, but he's from Canada. Bro, I don't know if I've ever met anybody that hates Trudeau more than him. I don't know if I've met anybody that hates him more than my man LeBron's. Shout out to LeBron's. Stops in the live streams. You should too. Twitch.tv/DuaneTV.
The buck. If you misgender someone there, you're getting fined or locked up. Trudeau censored the internet, then they banned half the guns. The trucker convoy was the last breath of freedom in their lungs. And the UK has fallen, getting woker every day. It's illegal immigrants throwing acid into faces. Protests and riots, COVID record inflation. The people lost their freedom. Great Britain lost its greatness. America to Europe.
See, what's crazy about the illegal immigrant thing, I get people get really upset about this topic. And I understand because there's some people that came over illegally and they've done nothing wrong. They've never done a crime. They just want a better life and they genuinely tried to work for it and haven't done anything, right? Obviously, that's not all of them, but there are a good amount of them. That is why they came over and what they've been doing. And the reason why they came over illegally was because the system to come over legally is kind of effed up. You have to at least acknowledge that it's not in the best shape that it could be in, right? And so some people take it on themselves to make these more drastic approaches to get over here. Am I saying that it's right? I'm not necessarily saying that, but I also don't think that it's right that it's so hard for someone who is genuinely good to get themselves over here, right? So I think that there's a lot of things that need to change. Like, we can't just allow people to come over illegally because that does also include criminals and all sorts of shit and F stuff that's going to happen. And us as people who already live here shouldn't have to worry that we might come across one of those people and have a bad experience or have our lives ruined or ended, right? We shouldn't have to worry about that. But at the same time, the people that are good, that do want to come over here legitimately and want to better their life and want to be a functional, positive part of our society and our communities, they need to have a more streamlined way that makes sense and actually is functional for them to get over here. Now, I can't speak in details because I don't know every single little detail, but the little bit of research I've done, that's the most that I could tell from it. And I feel like that's the logical approach. I want the good people to come over. That's fine. If you want to come over and better our communities, better our society, you want to, you want to do positive things, I have nothing against you at all. But now I also feel like we need to make it so those people can get over here the right way. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm also like, I'm not going to fight against the people that are trying to remove those that are violent, that aren't good, that should not be here. But then see, I don't want to get, that's why I didn't want to get into this topic, because then the discussion changes, because it's like, I'm seeing clips and videos of these people sitting and waiting for people that aren't committing crimes, but they just know, oh, they work at this restaurant. This restaurant seems to have a lot of people that may potentially be illegal. So we're going to sit here because we'll get a bunch of arrests. But in all reality, none of those people are the ones that are robbing places, stabbing people, doing any of these crimes. They're legitimately just trying to get a job and work and live their life. And again, the process probably for some reason failed them, and they still decided to make a way to come over here. And I don't have a problem with those people. And I just feel like let go for the people that are doing hitting the people in cars and what the dude in the truck that decided to try to do a U-turn and got hit. I don't know if but I'm just saying like that, like go after that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just a very nuanced situation. But then people argue like, well, the people that are here that are good, but they're not here illegally and they're taking jobs from people that. So it's like if I could give anybody advice, just keep as open of a mind as you possibly can. Because every situation that you argue about, as much as like you might be right about some of the points that you're making, you have to acknowledge and understand that it is also very nuanced and there's always going to be exceptions to the rules. There's always going to be exceptions to what makes sense to you. And there's going to be some things on both sides that either side that think either they should all be allowed to be here, they shouldn't be allowed to. There's going to be things where you guys are going to actually agree on that you might not realize because you're so busy fighting about the other things. And when you find those moments of places where you can agree, that's where you can kind of build a foundation to try to find out, okay, what makes the most sense without us just butting heads. That's my opinion, and that's how I try to approach life. And I think that that's reality. But I think that social media and the way that people get online and be so volatile and aggressive, I think that we've lost the ability to do that, and we've lost even the reasoning that that's a possibility. Anyways, we went on a long tangent for no reason. This is like a whole video I can make about this. And maybe one day we will talk about it on my main channel, Duane TV, link down in the description, where I talk about things. But yeah, I don't know. Stop in the live stream sometime. I'm down to have these conversations. It's just hard to have it during a music reaction because it's like, I don't want to sit here for an hour talking about one topic when there's a song to listen to still. But I like there's a lot that goes into it. And I'm sure some people are going to be able to combat some of the things I just said. But again, I couldn't give my full elaboration on it. And I feel like if I could hear your argument, it would then position me to give you something back and not say that I'm right, but like we might be able to find that medium ground. You know what I'm saying? So I always just feel like keep that in mind, man. Like you might be right about some of the things, but they also might be right about some of the things. And so we need to find that middle ground that makes the most sense.
Inflation, the people lost their freedom, Great Britain lost its greatness. America to Europe, across the globe, every country, every city, every neighborhood and home, it's infecting everything and everybody that we know, so just say it. Screw everything woke. Say it at the top of your lungs, don't let it go. Scream it out into the streets, I promise that you're not alone. Go ahead, say it with your chest way down deep in your soul, but just say it. Screw everything woke. Rise up, I can see your fire. You and me, we can burn what they built to the ground. Burn everything woke. Rise up, can't let them divide us. You and me, we can burn this woke world down. Burn everything woke. America is fallen, woke became a disease. They made trillions off of mandatory lethal vaccines. The anthem plays and half the country is still taking a knee. Blacks and whites fighting over whose life matters the least. And Canada has fallen.
Yo, that's so true. Blacks and whites arguing over whose life matters the least. Yo, that's actually what you see online now. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy, but so true.
America is fallen, woke became a disease. They made trillions off of mandatory lethal vaccines. The anthem plays and half the country is still taking a knee. Blacks and whites fighting over whose life matters the least.
See, here's my thing. This is my opinion on the vaccine. I'm curious what you guys think. Comment down below. I didn't like that they tried to force people to get it. I had no intention on getting it. The only reason I got a shot and got a follow-up booster shot was because I had a friend who I helped take care of that has mental health issues that was in the hospital, and she was there for like a whole year. Or no, not even a year. No, so here's the thing. She had back surgery, and she was in the hospital, then got moved to the mental health hospital for a while after, but I could not visit her if I didn't get the vaccine. And I just felt like her having mental health issues, already struggling, already having a hard time with stuff, and people there maybe not understanding her as far as the nurses and stuff, and she has nobody that actually can relate to her and understands her. I just felt like there's no way I can leave her in that situation. So I was willing to take the shot so I can go visit her. And I feel like it's wrong that I had to do. It just feels like that's crazy that I had to do that. And funny enough, afterwards, I ended up with like atrial tachycardia, stuff like that. But I still feel like it was more weed related because it happened more so after I quit the weed and from me smoking and stuff. And I was excessively smoking. But I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, "But that vaccine though." And the thing is, who knows? What if? Like maybe that was what it was. Now I didn't have anything crazy. Like I'm healthy, I'm good. I did take a medication to just get rid of the tachycardia, but it wasn't like a serious one that like causes like you're gonna die tomorrow type shit. So thankfully it was nothing crazy. But so, anyways, my point is, I don't feel like they should have forced it on people. Like, I understand the nervousness of it, right? Like, something happened, and what happened, we can debate in, again, another video, because I have very strong thoughts on that as well, and I feel like a lot of you guys may also agree with me. Some F shit, but regardless, something happened, and there was a panic. Yo, it's spreading. It's spreading across the entire globe. People are getting sick like crazy. Anybody that has trouble breathing, respiratory issues, like, it might be, it's over for you. So they try to get this the CDC and whoever to speed up and create a vaccine, which normally takes over 10 plus years, testing, all sorts of shit. And now we're just streamlining it within, like, what, 6 months, a year or something like that. So I understand people's skepticalness of wanting to take it. And I feel like it's kind of crazy to expect people to be forced to take it when you cannot tell any of us what the long term results could potentially be. Now, I don't think that it's the same. See, my thought process and some of your guys' as well might have been more like an antidepressant. I looked at it like when I saw those things on TV where it's like, have you been taking Luprexa or whatever, just random name I'm making up. If that's a real one, I'm not, but Luprexa Donatonia, like, for the last 10 years, and something happened to your kid, like autism, you might have a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? And so I thought of that when I thought of vaccines. But apparently, from my understanding, a vaccine, because it's not a regularly taken thing like an antidepressant, it passes through your system. So after effects, you would soon notice within the first 6 months to a year or something like that, or even a couple months, from my understanding. But still, I'm like, you don't know what those results are because we sped it up so fast. And so I think that the failure was, one, trying to force everybody to get it and tell people that they were going to lose their jobs if they didn't get it. I think that was a failure. I don't think that that's the best way to approach it. I get the urgency and the worry that maybe this is the better option, and they may have genuinely felt that way, but I just feel like you're making a decision for billions of people, or millions, I guess, in the United States, but billions around the world, whatever. Like, I don't agree with that. Two, I also don't agree with trying to present it as it's safe. Like, for a fact that it's safe when you don't know. You don't really know, because there was no ample time to test it in the length of time that we would need to make sure 100% that it was actually safe. So I think that it's like, I know that it sounds counterproductive to be like, hey, we made this vaccine, we made it very fast. From everything we can tell, it seems to be safe. The little bit of time we've had to test it in what ways we could, it seems safe. But we want to be honest with you, there is a possibility that once we bring it over and start to give it to humans, or over time, there is the chance that there could be some issues that come from it. And we don't 100% know. I think that that is how you approach it. Now, I get that that means a lot of people are probably going to say, well, I don't want to take that. But I feel like that's the way it should be, though, right? That's the fair shot at it. Now, I think their mentality was, COVID could wipe us out or significantly hamper things. And so we think that the shot, although it could cause issues, is going to save a lot of people. And they felt, and the government felt, like this is the better option. If we had to pick one of the two, what's the lesser evil? We feel like that's the lesser evil. So we're going to go with it, because at the end of the day, as a species, our goal is survival. We want humans to stick around, and we think this gives us a better chance to stick around. Although overall, it might fuck a lot of people up, but we think it's going to fuck up less than the other side of things. I'm guessing that that was what their thought process was. And I can understand that to an extent, but I also understand that as humans, we've gained the ability to reason. We're not like just random animals, and so we want the decision. Even if we make the wrong decision and that decision were to lead us to all being extinct, we still feel like it's our decision to make. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. If we're right, we're right. And I'm not saying that us not wanting the shot means we'd be extinct. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, in the situation, like, let's just say whatever situation comes up in the future, let's say, it should be our decision on what we do. But I understand, though, that the overall hierarchy thought is survivability. If we think that this is better than that, we're going to force it on everybody because we think this is the better option, even though they might be mad at us, they might disagree with it, they might be upset. This is what we think. The problem is, when you end up being wrong about that, then all the people are going to be like, well, how do we ever trust you again in the future? How do we ever believe that what you're telling us is a necessity is actually a necessity? Because that's what you told us before, and look at what bullshit came from it. And a lot of people that didn't end up going ahead with it are perfectly fine. So, my bad, this is another long TED talk, but it's just a very interesting dynamic. And I think that a lot of people don't try to look at the nuance of that either. Like, I understand being upset with the government because I'm not happy. I feel like, without going into too much, I feel like there is a reason why this all came about. I'm not going to say what, but I think we all know. We have a good idea. and then you try to fix it, and I can understand that as well. And I understand that maybe you thought that was the better of the options, but you got to be pretty damn sure, because if you're not, you're going to lose the faith of people going forward whenever something like this happens again. Nobody is going to just buy in and believe you. They're not going to do it. So it's like, I don't know. It's just it's just very interesting. Like, if it didn't cause so much controversy and so much drama, I would be like very intrigued by these conversation topics and stuff. But because it causes so much like ridiculousness around the world and harm at times, it's like, I don't know, very tough. Hopefully I elaborated my thoughts properly, but I just wanted to, because like I said, I always try to take my emotions and myself out of it and look at it and try to understand what I think both sides might be thinking. And I'm not trying to excuse one side or the other. I'm just giving you my logical, detached thought process on it. But again, like I said in the beginning, I don't feel like it was right that I was forced to get it. I didn't have plans on getting it. So if that tells you anything, that's where my stance is. But I still try to understand the thought process behind the forcing, behind the mandatory, behind the, you know what I'm saying? And even though it might be wrong, understanding the reasoning behind it, I think is still an important thing.
And half the country is still taking a knee. Blacks and whites fighting over whose life matters the least. And Canada is falling. People can't afford to pay for food. The media's all liberal. It's nothing but the fake news. There's oil in the ground and pipelines they refuse to use. You're only heard if you're indigenous or LGBTQ. Australia has fallen. Ireland been up in flames. People rioting and dying, divided, fighting for change. And from Canada to Finland, Denmark back to USA, it's a woke world. That's what we're standing up against. America to Europe, across the globe. Every country, every city, every neighborhood and home. It's infecting everything and everybody that we know. So just say it. Screw everything woke. Say it at the top.
You know what's crazy is at one point, like when the term woke first came out, I feel like it was like not a bad term. It's like, yo, you just not woke. You know what I'm saying? Like it seemed like a cool, but then it turned into something where it's like, bro, I do not want to be labeled as that ever.
Up in your lungs, don't let it go. Scream it out into the streets. I promise that you're not alone. Go ahead, say it with your chest way down deep in your soul, but just say it. Screw everything woke. Rise up, I can see your fire. You and me, we can burn what they built to the ground. Burn everything woke. Rise up. Divide us. You and me, we can burn this woke world down. Burn everything woke. The whole world's falling to the globalist elite. They want one God, one leader, one currency. It's the cigarettes, the vaccines, the food that you eat. Either way, the deep state wants you 6 feet deep. Fill your headphones with music, reinforcing their beliefs, and replace your own thoughts with the lies on TV. It's a woke world, and we won't survive if we're asleep. So wake up before you rest in peace. Rise up, I can see your fire. You and me, we can burn what they built to the ground. Burn everything woke.
Not literally though. Not literally. Let's do this the right way.
You and me, we can burn this woke world down. Burn everything woke.
And truthfully, I feel like things are starting to turn in another direction. Because you got to think of it like this, right? It's almost like a pendulum. And I think someone's already explained it like this before, but when it swings too far one way, it will eventually come back. The problem is it comes back with a vengeance, and it goes too far in the other direction at times. And that is an inevitable thing that might actually happen. But hopefully we'll level back out and shit, because it is a little bit much, man. Like, the world is in a crazy place, and I appreciate those that watch my videos and can understand the logic behind the things that I say and give my thoughts a chance. Because a lot of times, first of all, you coming here, most of the time, the majority of people, if not everybody, is going to be Tom MacDonald fans. So you're already in a certain line of thinking because you obviously agree with him. That's why you're a fan of him, because you like some of the shit that he says. And so sometimes I don't feel like I argue against what Tom says, but sometimes I will combat it, or I will give you the other side's thoughts, in my opinion, in the most logical way possible. And I feel like a lot of people still receive it very well in the comments. And I think that that's a promising thing. And hopefully we can continue to go down this path, because I feel like a lot of people that come in here, we have very similar thought processes. We probably agree on a lot of the same things. And I'm just somebody who's willing to take a devil's advocate look at the other side without trying to look at it always in a negative light, but also try to understand maybe like the sensical part of why they decide some of the things they decide, even though it may go far beyond that or make it look, you know what I'm saying? And obviously even the extreme right, I don't agree with either. So it's like, I kind of go back and forth. And at first, it felt like all I did was make enemies. Like everybody hated me because I didn't pick a side. And so the extreme on either side was like getting at me over shit. But I've found that as I do more and more videos and I just kind of talk about things in what I think makes the most sense, which is probably more of a centrist view, I guess, but leans either side depending on what, again, makes sense. I find that I feel like I'm finding more and more people that are willing to at least hear out what I'm saying and be like, you know what, that does make sense though. Like I agree with this, like I believe in this, but I do understand what you're saying about that and why that might happen or why they might feel that way or why. And I feel like the more we get that, the better we can get to a middle ground where everybody can finally we can get to conclusions. You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal. These videos are never reaching all that many people, but even if they reach a handful of people that can also spread and understand the logic behind different sides of things and not just the side that they agree with, I think that that benefits us going forward. So appreciate you guys. Let me know what you thought down below. Take it easy. Stay safe. I will catch you in the next one, homie.